Hey y'all, welcome to Keeping It Real Estate with Kristen. I'm Kristen Goyette. I'm a mortgage loan officer, and this podcast is about all things real estate. And the goal is to have every discipline in the real estate world on the podcast at some point in time to include all my realtor friends, home inspectors, appraisers, broker owners, insurance agents, investors. I've even got a lady who's going to come on and talk about credit. So keep that in mind and go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss anything. And with that being said, today I have an award-winning realtor with me today. I've got Miss Misti Hignite with Keller Williams out of Greenville. Keller Williams points east out of Greenville, North Carolina. And Misti has been awarded, I had to write it down so I wouldn't forget it all, top 20%, top sales associate, $1 Million Club, and top individual sales volume. Way to go, girl. I feel like I need your autograph.
Thank you.
And, of course, I follow you on Facebook, and you're always posting all the good work you do. So congratulations on all that you've won and been awarded.
Thank you.
So tell me about yourself and your journey into the real estate world, because you've done other things besides real estate, right?
Yes. I retired from Pitt County Schools after working there for 23 years total.
Okay.
I did early retirement thanks to my husband giving me that nudge and saying, you can do this.
Right.
So we took a leap of faith, and I retired. It's been almost 3 years ago now. It's coming October.
Oh, wow, okay.
I did do real estate part-time while I was still at the school system, and I just found that it was just my calling. And
right.
So after I retired, I went into it full-time with Keller Williams Points East, and this is my third full-time year now, and I just enjoy it.
Wow, you've done a lot in 3 years,
Yes.
full-time. And then how long were you part-time?
I was part-time for probably about a year and a half, 2 years.
Okay. So 5 years or so altogether.
Yeah, going on 5 years.
And you're rocking and rolling.
Yes.
How many people did you serve last year?
I had 46 transactions that I closed last year, 23 listing side and 23 buy side. So
okay, so about half and half.
Yeah, that's what
awesome.
They call for, is that that's a good split. So.
Yeah. Do you prefer one over the other, or you like that balance?
If I had to choose, I'd probably say listings.
Mm-hmm.
But I like working with buyers too, because that helping somebody find their forever home.
Right.
But yeah, I think listings are. You think that listings aren't a lot, that somebody just throws a house up for sale and then that's it. But
right.
Really, it's not. There's a lot more that goes into it.
What does go into it? Because I certainly don't know.
There's a lot of. It's almost like being a detective sometimes when you're doing a listing, especially if you've got something out in the country, because a lot of people just don't know.
Right.
You've got septic systems, or you've got your deeds. There could be old deeds out there.
Right.
Just doing a lot of research and getting all that information together,
okay.
And helping your seller get the most that they can for their property. And I do a lot of dual agency also.
Oh, nice.
A lot of agents, they kind of shy away from that. But as long as you're honest and you work well with both sides, then
right, being transparent.
Yes.
So tell our audience, what does it mean to be a dual agent?
So to be
a dual agency, is that what it's called?
Yeah,
dual agency.
So to do dual agency, of course, you have to get the blessing from both your buyer and your seller, and you work with both the buyer and the seller on the same transaction.
Right.
And so it's kind of like you kind of go into this mode where you're helping both, but you don't disclose what the buyer tells you to the seller, the seller to the buyer, kind of thing. But it's rewarding too, because you're helping both families get what they want, and especially when you've got a seller who is really, I don't know, they want to help the buyer, and so
nice.
It's just a win-win for both sides.
Absolutely, and I can see where you would be beneficial in that.
Yeah.
So a lot of transparency and building up a lot of trust.
Yes,
and
trust.
rapport with both of those. So,
absolutely.
So you enjoy, because I do know some realtor friends who are nervous about the dual agency thing, but for you, you've kind of done it enough now, you kind of got it down pat.
Yes, last year I had right many dual agency transactions, and this year as well. So.
Awesome. Good for you. So you've been in for about 3 years full-time, 2 years part-time, and you're rocking and rolling. I mean, I just talked about your accolade. I mean, a boss of mine used to say it's not bragging if it's facts. Yeah. So what's been your business strategy? What do you think has
First of all,
successful?
First of all, it's putting God first. You know, it's Keller Williams' values is God, family, and real estate.
Nice.
So as long as you put it in that order and you keep that in perspective, then I feel like you can go a long ways. Being honest and upfront with people is another thing. You know, I love building relationships with my clients. I have a lot of clients now that are past clients, but they are also repeat clients.
Right.
Not once, twice, now 3 times, 4 times in this short period of time.
Right.
But my husband and I, we hang out with these couples, and you know, we do things. So it's not just, oh, let me get you to close and let me just get my check and bye. You know, it's making those lasting relationships, checking back up on people. How's your family doing? Yep. You know, if somebody's been sick, just, you know, we're friends on Facebook, and they're checking on me to see how things are going. So it's just important, you know. Of course, I set my goals and pray, God, whatever your will is, let it be done.
Amen. So. And I know you and I have taken a mutual client out to eat before, and wined and dined her little sweet self, and she actually messaged me earlier and said she wants to come back and eat with us again.
Yes, me too.
So, I mean, how many realtors do you know doing stuff like that? Yeah. And lenders too. So that's really cool. And, you know, that relationship building and being genuine, like you said,
that's right,
obviously has worked very well for you. So when a client comes to you, let's say they're a buyer or seller, I mean, or maybe both, tell us what kind of advice you're giving them, what kind of direction you give them based on your experience and knowledge to help make it as smooth as possible.
For a buyer, you know, of course, when they come to me and they're looking to buy, one of the first things I like to say, I like to give them options to get a pre-approval, see where you stand, because I don't want to have them to have false hope.
Right.
You know, I don't want to be showing them homes that are well above their means, and, you know, so we get them approved, and then we start looking at homes in their range, and I tell them not to settle. It's a big purchase. Right. You know, one of the major life purchases. So I want you to really think about it. Don't just jump in because, hey, I want a home. You know, I want to buy a home. Let me get this. This is something you're committing to for lots of times the next 30 years. Right. So, you know, can you see yourself raising your family here? That kind of thing. If it's a seller and we're selling their home because maybe they're downsizing or a death in the family, you know, we discuss the price and we look at what's sold recently. And for them as well, I say, you know, don't settle. If you don't feel like this is something that you want to do, that you're not going to get out of it what you felt like, then let's just wait. Right. So,
let it sit for a little while and see what happens. Right. I know I had a realtor when I sold my first house, and whenever she sat down with us to talk about price, I remember her saying, you know, do you want it to sell quickly, or do you have time? That's right. Because if it sits here, I mean, you can get whatever you want eventually if you got time to sit here. But if you're wanting a quick sale, then you probably need to price it here, you know, at this range. And so, obviously, we trusted her, and it worked out, and we sold it pretty quick. So, trust your real estate agents; they are the professional. Yes. Like you said, doing lots of research to make sure that you are pricing the home right and trying to get it gone quickly. For most people, want to sell quickly, I think. While that decision's been made, it's like I go ahead and roll with it.
Let's get this done. Let's roll. Yeah.
Right. So, what are your primary service areas?
Anything points east. So anything east of Raleigh. Last year I had a listing up in Bladen County. So listings I will travel farther to do. I don't have an issue with that. I will show houses, you know, most anywhere. I just, you know, I enjoy it.
You've had a couple here in Lenore County, or was that mostly? Okay.
Yep, had one close last month over here.
Cool, awesome. Yeah. So what do you think's been your biggest challenge going into 2023?
Probably working with buyers with the interest rates going up. You know, I had buyers that were, during the COVID period, that were pre-approved for a certain amount based on the lower interest rates that we had. And so now moving forward, what they could have afforded now is, in some cases, cut in half.
Right.
So, and it's
the
hard.
Priced amount.
Yeah, and it's just hard. Used to you could buy a home for $200,000, $250,000, and you get a nice home.
Right.
But now it's like I show homes in that price range, and it's like they need a lot of work. So that's been a challenge.
That makes sense. Mm-hmm. I know Keith and I bought our fourth home, most recent home. We decided to downsize, and we bought it. I think we only paid like $153 for it, and I couldn't believe we paid that much for it back when the market was still hot, because it needed a lot of work, and we basically flipped it. We're still living in it and hope to sell it again soon, but or sell again for the fourth time. But it needed a lot of work. It needed a lot of work. And I look at houses now, and like you said, there was one recently, same size, same build as ours. They completely flipped it, and I think they sold it for like well over $200.
Yeah,
I was like, wow, here in Lenore County. So I was like, cool. So we always talk about on the podcast that every transaction is meaningful and wonderful, and we do love working with every client, well, for the most part. But do you have one that was super special to you?
I do. I have a couple. They're an older couple, and they were moving here from Florida to be closer to family that they had here. It was a new construction home that they were purchasing in Pitt County, and it took, oh my gosh, a year and a half or longer for the home to get finished. So they were able to move this past summer.
A year and a half for their build?
Yes.
Wow.
And it was just a really crazy situation, because all the other homes around them that were purchased after them were just going up like crazy, and people were moving in, and theirs was just sitting there. So I spent a lot of time going by, as well as my husband checking on it and just seeing what stage it was, going by taking pictures and sending it to them in Florida, because obviously they couldn't travel back and forth all the time with the price of gas and all too during COVID.
Yeah.
But we finally got them moved here, and
so that was during COVID, and that's kind of what was taking so long?
Well, you would think that's what it was. I don't know what was taking so long, because like I said, the other houses around it were being thrown up and people were moving in. But they just kind of hold a special place in my heart. They're a really sweet couple. So.
Super cool. I know. I didn't realize how fast houses could go up.
Oh, yeah.
I've been working with some clients on new construction, and 9, 8, 9, 10, I mean up to 12 months or so, they can put up a nice size house. You just built a house.
Yes.
How long was your building process?
Oh, let's see. We started the journey the end of last January, and we just moved in this Friday. Will be 3 weeks ago.
Okay, so yours is what? That's 14 months or so?
Yes. So,
well, how was it being on the other end of the stick?
It's good to be there. It's been frustrating at times. Our deal, we waited 4 months for windows.
Oh man,
that's because of the type windows that I chose. But we're there now. I'm just happy to finally be back out in the country and
living your best life in your brand new beautiful house.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, ma'am.
So did you learn anything through that process? You think that's going to help you be a better agent, like any kind of humbling experiences that maybe tell us one of them. I'm sure there was many, but what's maybe one thing that's changed you as an agent rebuilding your own home?
I wish I could say patience, but that's my.
You probably have gained a little bit more patience, I'm sure.
Maybe, but it's just, again, it's not settling,
Right.
You just got to, like, if something's not right, if it doesn't look right or feel right, you need to make sure that you speak out.
Right. So kind of like, I have a nursing background, and always encouraging family members to be advocates for their family members who are sick. Like, if you don't stand up for yourself, nobody is. And so many times that's hard.
That's right.
Especially, I think, like, I've never built a house, so I wouldn't know all the ins and outs. And I think I might be intimidated because you're not an expert, and then trying to stand up for yourself against somebody who hopefully is the expert.
Yes. I mean, main thing, too, is just staying on it. Make sure you're on the job site and you see what's going on.
Right.
And so hopefully you can catch things before they go wrong.
Gotcha. So I know we talked about the advice you give to your folks when they come along, but is there anything special or particular that you talk to very first time buyers about?
Well, I have a lot of different information sheets that I like to give them, explaining, because, I mean, they're first-time home buyers. Lots of times they're young couples.
Right.
And they don't understand the difference between due diligence money and earnest money. They have no idea about home inspections or HVAC or septic if it's in the county.
Right.
And that's something that they have to pay for. A lot of them don't realize the appraisal, that's part of the thing that they have to pay for.
Yeah.
So I have information sheets that I give them explaining the difference between the earnest money, the due diligence money, the period that you have to do the inspections. So
That's
one
good.
of the
Let's
big
have
things.
a vocabulary. Let's have a definition test today. Tell us about due diligence. We'll pick one word. Tell us about due diligence.
So due diligence money is basically it's money that you offer a seller to take the property off the market for you to be able to perform inspections. Usually it could be between, say, 4 to 5 weeks, depending on how booked inspectors are. And
okay, so y'all are setting a time frame.
Yes. So we go ahead, once the offer's accepted, the due diligence money is paid to the seller, then we go ahead and schedule the inspections. That's a period where you can negotiate any repairs that need to be done.
Okay.
However, due diligence money is money that if they decide to walk away, they do not get back.
Because you've asked them to take their house off the market.
That's right.
So that's money you're fronting. And you don't get that back.
Yes.
But most of the time, that works out, don't it?
Most of the time it does, yeah. Unless you have a seller who just doesn't want to negotiate repairs, then you can have an issue.
Gotcha.
And that's also a time where the appraisal is done, or you hope that it's done and back before the due diligence period is up. That way, if there's any issues with it coming in appraised under the offer price, then you can negotiate that down unless they have the cash to pay out of pocket.
Right. Excellent. That was very informative. Thank you. Because you know this podcast is about learning.
Yes.
And interviewing my people at the same time. So what's your biggest goal for 2023?
To help more families achieve their goals of home ownership or to achieve their goals of selling, downsizing, or whatever it may be with real estate.
Okay, this is going to be a hard question.
Okay.
So what's your strategy to get to those goals? Challenging you today.
Well,
you got this.
Referrals are great, and so I always tell my clients, new clients, past clients, referrals are always welcome.
Right. Referrals are the best advertisement,
yes,
right?
Yes, and between that and social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, getting that information out there
right.
that I'm here, I'm available, and also getting reviews and keeping those posted, so people
right.
know that when they look up, they're looking for a realtor, that they find somebody that other people are trusting.
Right,
So.
and I've seen your stuff. You're a 5-star agent.
Yes.
Lots of reviews, 5
very
stars.
blessed.
This is your girl if you want that 5-star customer service.
Yep.
Because customer service, I call it a dying art in this
Yes.
world that we live in today.
Definitely.
So I think just the simple things that mean the most and can really make a difference. But you've obviously been doing it because I see all your 5-star
Thank you.
reviews. So good job. So if you were not a real estate agent, what do you think you'd be doing?
I would be something out in the public, something working with people to help them better their lives, change their
Right.
lives. I'm definitely a people person.
Right. So you worked in the school system.
Yes.
Did you enjoy what grades?
I did. Well, I was the school secretary,
Okay.
the yearbook advisor for a K-8 school in Pitt County.
Okay.
And I enjoyed it. I was there for the time that my kids were in school, and then years passed, obviously. So I enjoyed what I did, but things changed.
K-8, K through 8?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's a big difference.
Yes.
You saw a lot, I'm sure.
Yes. And so being the yearbook advisor, I was there. So I saw these kids kindergarten through 8th grade.
Aww.
So I could do their ads and have some that come back and ask me to do their senior ads.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Super cool. Well, tell us something fun or interesting about yourself.
A lot of people wouldn't know it. And I've had people tell me before that they would have no idea that I was an outside girl, that I just love being outside. I go hunting with my husband.
Oh, wow.
I've killed a few bucks, and
wow.
and I love cutting grass.
I like to cut
So,
grass, too.
do you?
I
Okay.
love to cut grass.
I knew you
I do not hunt. I'm terrified of guns.
Oh, gosh.
Which is weird because I'm married to a police officer, but he knows when he walks in, hide that gun because I don't even want to see it. But yeah, I love to cut grass.
Yes. I look forward to the summer when the grass is growing so I can be out there.
Do you weed eat?
No, I let
My grandma weed eat.
I have weed eating, but I let my stepson do the weed eating, and or either I cut very close so it doesn't have to be weed eating.
Right. I've never weed eated, but I'll ride the heck out of a lawnmower.
Yes.
I want to cut every little thing.
Oh, yes. I'm in my zone then.
Yeah, you're kind of prissy. I would have not picked you for a hunter.
Prissy. I don't think prissy's a word.
I have a really sweet friend who's very prissy like you too, and she used to go hunting. She has 3 small children now, so I don't know if she goes hunting as much, but I used to get so tickled when she would take pictures of herself out in the field or out in the woods with all her camo on and her cute little pearl earrings.
Oh, no.
I'm going to have like a doll baby, but she was serious about her hunting.
I'm going to have my earrings and my makeup on.
Oh, okay. So you're looking good, but you're killing the deer.
I grew up on the farm, working in tobacco, and I always had to put on my makeup and stuff before I went out there.
Right. You got to feel good about what you're doing.
That's
so
right.
So do you hunt anything else, or you fish?
I go on the boat. Okay. I mean, I cast a rod, but I won't say I really catch anything.
Yeah. I grew up fishing with my dad, but I don't even know the last time I fished. I was young. Anyway, all right, awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really enjoyed talking to you today. And so if anybody out there is interested in a 5-star experience, how would they contact Misti Hignite?
They can contact me by calling 252-717-7896, or my email address is mistihignite@kw.com, and that is Misti with an I.
Misti with an I, that's good, M-I-S-T-I.
Yes, and my slogan is Let Hignite Ignite Your Home Search.
That's right, I love your little hashtag.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you need pre-approval before you go talk to Misti, you can reach out to me, Kristen Goyette, 252-560-8632, or kristen.goyette@mottomortgage.com. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next episode.